Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name's Josh from Beyond the Feet, and today we're going to be comparing two top stability shoes. We got the Saucony Hurricane 22 against the Hoka One One Arahi 4. Let's jump into it. So to start with, who are these shoes for? Pretty much anyone wanting to train for a marathon, use them as a daily trainer, or just kind of that casual runner in general. These shoes work quite well. They're stability shoes, so that means if you pronate or roll in, if your foot hits the ground and then turns towards the medial side or the inside of your foot, you need that little bit extra support. So that's what these two shoes cover. They do it in two different ways though. We'll jump into that slightly later in the video. First off, let's compare the outer soles. Looking at your outsoles in the shoe, the Saucony Hurricane uses a crystallized rubber running all the way through. Definitely is a firmer outer sole in comparison to the Arahi. Really durable. You're probably looking about getting 1000 Ks plus out of this one, where with the Arahi you're probably looking about 800 Ks. This guy still uses those high abrasive pads at your heel and also your forefoot, so that does still make a nice durable shoe with that little bit of exposed EVA in that kind of midfoot area, because you shouldn't be putting a lot of pressure throughout that area anyway with that added support you got running through. Both great outer soles. Both have used the outer soles in previous iterations of the shoes. Looking at your midsoles, so we're going to start with the cushioning. Biggest difference in these two shoes are probably the cushioning as well as the rocker. So with your cushioning systems, Saucony uses a Power Run Plus. That's a really dense, soft, responsive cushioning that does bounce back quite nicely. Definitely feels a lot more squishy underfoot. You put the shoe on, if you go for a run in it, you definitely sink into the shoe a lot more and get that nice bounce back every time. As opposed to the Arahi, uses a bit more of that rocker midsole, so the midsole itself is a lot more firm in general as well. It's just kind of a standard EVA cushioning they use. Nothing special about it. They used it in last season's model, but it works. It's definitely firmer though. It's not that kind of Hoka marshmallow feel that people have come to love in the Clifton or even some of your older iterations of the Bondi. In this one it does feel a lot more firm. That has a big thing to do with your stability element in the shoe. So with the Arahis, they use a J frame running all the way throughout. That's a firmer piece wrapping from the lateral side of the foot all the way to the medial side of the foot. Now that's actually probably one of your better stability systems that any shoe has done so far. It supports the heel, the midfoot and the forefoot area if you do pronate, as opposed to the Hurricane that just supports that kind of midfoot area on the medial side. They both do it well. I'd say that the Arahi 4 is probably a better stability shoe in terms of your support system, but when you compare the cushionings as well, it does change it up a fair bit. The stability system that the Hurricane uses is a TPU, so it's just a firmer plastic on the inside, where these guys here use a full different density all the way around the shoe. If you look at the uppers, fit and feel, both shoes tend to fit pretty big, to be honest. A lot of people kind of have to go that half size down in order to fit quite nicely, and there's a lot of padding on the upper on your Hurricane, so it definitely feels like there's a lot more shoe. Both shoes use a soft seamless upper wrapping around the top. I'd say that the Hurricane definitely has more going on with the upper though. A much more padded heel counter and collar as well as your tongue, whereas the Arahi is that kind of slimmer runner's fit. So it does wrap around that midfoot area a little bit nicer and a little bit kind of less crap going on with the shoe in terms of the upper. However, it doesn't feel as soft around the collar. So if you're someone who gets irritated with kind of that less padding around your heel counter and you want something nice and kind of luscious around your heel, then I definitely point you towards the Hurricane. Both of these shoes are really up there. You're looking at that $250 price point, and rightly so. Like, they're both great shoes. In your new iteration of the Hurricane, it's definitely a much better shoe than last season, so Saucony have gone the lengths and bounds to kind of improve the shoe, and it does work really well. Whereas the Arahi, it's the same as last iteration. So pretty much you could grab this guy, you can grab last season's model, and then you're comparing like a $180 shoe to a $250 shoe, and I'd say this guy wins. However, if we're looking at your $250 price point, I would have to point you towards the Saucony, just because the shoe overall is a lot softer, it's a lot nicer on the foot. But if you prefer a rocker sole, go towards the Hoka. That's about it. My name's Josh from Beyond the Feet. Until next time, smash that like, hit the subscribe, turn on the bell. We're almost at 1,000 subs, so make sure you head on over to our 2020 vision video. And yeah, see you soon.